guys. Okay, it's time to buckle down and finally get out of debt. Today I'm actually going to share our own family story on how we got out of $30,000 worth of debt in only 18 months and how you guys can do it too. I'm going to show you guys everything that you need to make it happen for your own family. I've had so many people email and comment telling me that these steps actually help their family get out of debt too, so I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So let's get started. So about 4 or 5 years ago, our family was in serious debt. I mean, $30,000 worth of debt. It's a lot of money. And I just started feeling so constricted. I felt like I had a noose around my neck. Like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. Like I just couldn't do anything financially that I wanted to do. I couldn't travel like I wanted to. Couldn't buy the things I wanted to. I couldn't update our house. I couldn't do all these things. And I was just feeling so depressed about it. Finally, I just said, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. So I did my research and I came up with this huge plan for my family to get out of debt, and it totally worked. We got out of $30,000 worth of debt in only 18 months. And we have never looked back. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of hard work and we did have to sacrifice a lot during that 18 months, but it has been the #1 best thing we have ever done for our family. So if you are in debt and ready to get financially stable, this video will totally help you. I always get asked here on YouTube and on my social media channels, like, Melea, how in the world do you go on so many family vacations? How can you afford that? How can you afford these things? How can you afford to remodel your house right now? How can you do all these things? And the only thing I can tell them is you're not gonna be able to afford anything until you get out of debt. This video is actually going to be kind of long, just to be upfront and honest. The reason why is because I wanted the whole getting out of debt series and all the steps to be in one video so you guys could just sit down and watch it instead of me having to come out with a bunch of videos and make you go find them and link to them and all that blah blah blahness. So everything is here in this video for you guys, and if you follow the steps, you'll be able to get out of debt too. So let's start with step #1. The most important thing that you can do to get out of debt is you have to get your family on board. And this is the most important step out of all the steps I'm gonna share with you guys, because if your spouse is not on board, it's not gonna happen, because that spouse would still be spending money the way that you've always spent money and nothing's gonna change. You need to let your kids know too, especially if you have older kids. You need to tell them, hey, guess what? Mommy and daddy are in debt. We need to get out of debt so we can do fun things as a family. Let them know that once you're out of debt, you can do those fun family vacations. You can finally afford those things that your kids have asked for, or that you've asked for, or those updates you wanted to do to your house. So make sure that your whole family is on board and they know what's happening, because, I mean, for example, our family, it took 18 months. Granted, my kids were really, really young, so we didn't need to tell them what was going on, but me and my husband were both on board. We both knew what was going on. We both knew that being in debt was really, really scary, and we did not like that feeling. So make sure everyone in your family is on board. Step #2, you have to find out how much debt you actually have and honestly have. Because if you're being honest about it, you probably think, oh, I have this much debt. But once you actually write it out and put it on a list, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, we have so much debt. I had no idea how bad it was. So I need you guys to write down all of your debts. I would recommend writing it out on a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet. And the reason why is because we're going to be ordering these in a certain order in order to pay them off. So it's easier to do if it's already written down in a computer program, then you can just kind of cut and copy and drag. This is what I need for every single debt you have, every single one. I need the name of the debt. I need how much you pay each month, or how much your monthly payment is. I need to know your APR, or interest rate, for that debt. And I also need to know how much you owe in total. So if you owe $2,000 left on that credit card, that's the number I'm looking for. You can include your car payments and your house payment in this list, but I would leave them at the very, very bottom, because right now we are focusing on revolving debt. If you guys don't know what revolving debt is basically any sort of debt that you can keep putting money on and paying off. So an example of revolving debt would be a credit card. An example of something that's not revolving debt would be a car, because you buy a car for a set price and you don't add more money back onto the car, right? So we are focusing on revolving debt. It's the most important thing we want to get rid of first. And after you've got all your debt paid off and you want to pay off your cars and your house, go for it. Step 3, now that we have all of your debt written out, we need to put them in the right order. You have 2 options for this. You can either put your debt in order of the debt that has the least amount of payments left before it's paid off, or you can put it in order of the highest interest rate or highest APR first. Our family ended up doing the lowest amount of payments left, and the reason why we did that is because when I compared them side by side, we were gonna pay off our debt faster and in 18 months by doing it by the least amount of payments owed. And it helps the snowball effect happen a lot faster, which I'll explain in just a second. So I actually pulled this from our old debt list that I put together. I had to dig for it in our computer files and finally found it. I figured it would be better for me to show you some of our personal debt that we actually used and actually paid off instead of just making some numbers up. So this is what I'm going to be showing you guys. These are our debts, and I ordered them, our first 4 debts. It's not like we just had like 4 debts, guys. We had like, I think 12 lines of debt that we had to go through and pay off. So these are just the first 4. But you'll see that the line of credit, I'm paying $100 monthly, and my APR is 11%, and it's $500 until it's totally paid off. So basically what I'm gonna do, and what you guys need to do, is make sure that you're making the same minimum monthly payments every single month on all of your debts. Do not stop paying them just because you're doing the snowball or debt elimination plan. You have to make sure you're totally paying everything, because we don't want late fees, we don't want interest penalties, and any of that nonsense. We don't want to pay more money than we have to. So basically what I'm gonna do is for the next 5 months, I'm gonna pay off this entire thing until it's completely gone. When this line of credit is completely paid off, I have an extra $100 a month that I was putting towards that bill. I'm gonna take that $100 monthly payment and put on line 2 towards my student loan. Right now my student loan payment is $50 a month. So when I add $100 to it, I'm paying $150 towards that $50 payment, and I'm gonna pay off that student loan so much faster. That's 3 times faster. It's pretty cool how fast it starts going. That's what I'm calling the snowball effect, or that's the term I'm using, the snowball effect. Once our student loan is completely paid off, because I'm paying $150 a month instead of just $50, then I'm gonna take my $150 from those first 2 lines, and I'm gonna put it towards my 3rd line, which is my Visa credit card, which right now I'm paying $26 a month. Are you kidding me? 11% APR, and I have $1,000 on that card. It's gonna take me a lifetime to pay that off at $26 a month. And credit card companies do that on purpose. You guys know that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pay $176 every month towards that credit card until it's completely paid off. Then I'm gonna move on to the next line, and so forth and so on, all the way down. Does that make sense to you guys? I realize that this method can take some time. Obviously, it took our family 18 months, but it was so worth it. So I don't want you to get discouraged. I don't want you to think, oh, we're too far gone. We have too much debt. There's no way we can ever get out of it. Let's just not worry about it, or there's no way I'd be able to get through it. You guys totally can. Here I am being your cheerleader. You guys can do this. Step number 5, one of the most important parts of this entire plan is to make sure that you don't accrue credit or don't put any money back on those credit cards. Once they're paid off, leave them alone. Do not put money back on those cards. You're gonna ruin the whole process. We don't wanna get back into debt after we've gotten out of debt. So keep your money off of those cards for now, and just make sure that they're paid off. Do not close the credit cards after you have paid them off. Do not close them. That's a big no-no when it comes to your credit score. I'll talk about that in just a little bit. Another tip I wanna share is, depending on your income, you might have extra money already in your budget that you could be putting towards your debt. I would do that if you have any extra money. If you don't, just pay the minimum amount. That's great. You'll still get it done. We didn't really have a lot of extra money to put towards our debt, so that's just what we did. We just snowballed it all the way down, and it took 18 months. But if you guys have any extra money, even if it's just $5 or $10, put it towards that first line that you're trying to pay off on your debt elimination plan. That way it will happen so much faster, and that snowball movement will happen so much faster. Step 6, all right, now that I've actually talked to you guys about how to get out of debt, we need to find extra money, because more than likely you have extra money and you're just wasting it. Everyone does that. I've done it before too. So there are a few different ways that you can save money. Number 1 is electricity. More than likely you leave lights on, you have your thermostat set too high or too low depending on whether it's winter or summer. There's ways that you can energy save and save money on your bills like that. So get your family aboard. So again, get your family on board, have them help you, make sure the lights are turned off so you're not wasting electricity. And then any extra money that you see that you've saved from the previous month, you can put that money towards your snowball and debt elimination plan. Another item would be cable. Guys, the cable bill. If you're paying for cable and you have money for it, great. If you're paying for cable and it's expensive and you don't have money for it and you want to get out of debt, it might be time to cut the cable bill. There are so many options out there right now with Hulu, Netflix. A lot of the networks are doing streaming or on demand on apps or on your computer for completely free. So there's so many options to watch all your favorite shows without paying for your cable bill. So if you guys want to try Hulu, there's a link below my YouTube description that you guys can try it for 1 week free. And then you can see if you like it, and if you want to. I think it's like $10 or $15 a month versus however much money you're paying each month on your cable bill. So there's a lot of different options for that. So think about maybe doing that, even if it's just for the time period while you're trying to get out of debt. Another one would be cars. Depending on the APR for your car, you might want to go and refinance your car. It could save you a lot of money per month depending on how much your car payment is and what your interest rate was at before you refinanced. So look into that. Another thing I want to talk about is cell phone. Hello. Everyone has one, and it is a very, very expensive bill if you're not careful. So check to see if there's any promotions going on. There's usually a promotion going on for the same thing that you already have, or you might be able to downgrade to a lower plan and still get all the minutes and data that you want and still be okay. So check with your cell phone provider and let them know that you're having some troubles financially, but you still want to be with them and see what they can do to work with you. Another really important thing that gets overlooked is your mortgage payment. Guys, I would highly recommend that you look into refinancing your mortgage. My husband has been in the mortgage industry for 11 years, and because of that, I have learned so much about mortgages and all the ins and outs and refinancing and how important it is. So I would highly recommend that you look into refinancing because it will save you a few $100s a month. It could save you even more than that depending on your mortgage and interest rate that you currently have. So if you don't have someone to go through to help you with that, you're more than welcome to contact my husband. His information is below in the YouTube description. You can click show more if you're on your computer, or if you're on your phone, just click the little upside down triangle over here. It'll pop that open for you. I'll give you his email address so you guys can contact him. He's actually helped a few hundred followers refinance their own mortgages. So he's done this for a lot of people, and it has been so cool to see how much money he's been able to save them. So if you guys want to reach out to him, feel free. But that should be a huge chunk of change that you'll be able to save, because I mean, a few $100s extra every month can go a really, really far way. And it's your biggest bill of the entire month. So it really does help to make sure that you get refinanced if you're in a position to get refinanced. Obviously, everyone's situation is totally different depending on your interest rate and your credit score and all that. But if you are interested in that and you live inside the United States, then you can email my husband if you need some help. Now, step number 7, you have to know how to use your checking accounts and saving accounts the right way. Why do we need to go through so much effort in order to use our checking accounts and savings accounts the right way and organize it all? Because it really, really does make a difference. Once I started doing this with our finances, I felt like I had control. I knew where everything was, and I wasn't doing that crazy cash method envelope system that I know a lot of people do. That I could not handle that. I could not do it. I didn't see where money was going. I didn't like keeping the receipts. This way it's all digital, and you can just open it up no matter where you're at and see exactly where you are financially and know what's going towards bills, what's going towards fun stuff, what's going towards vacations or savings. You know exactly what you're doing, and it's all there. So I actually did a video showing you guys how to use this budgeting technique and how to set it up. So I'm not gonna refilm it for you, but I am gonna link you guys to it. So you can click the I in the corner over here to watch that for step 7, or you guys can find it below in my YouTube description. But it will totally help you out, and I've had so many of you guys say that it has literally changed your life on how easy budgeting has become. So make sure you watch that for step 7. I would also really love to talk to you guys about credit scores, how to raise your credit after you pay off your debt, how credit scores are even calculated, all the information that goes along with that. So if you guys are interested in something like that, will you comment below and let me know? Because that would be its whole own video on its own. It gets kind of complicated, but you need to know that, especially after you get out of debt. You need to know exactly how to raise your credit scores, because we need credit scores for things like cars or houses. And it's so great to have a really good credit score and know how it works so you don't mess yourself up, like how I talked about earlier, and not shutting down your credit cards after you paid them off. You want to leave them open. That's one tip I will give you right now. I'll tell you why in an upcoming video. So comment below if there's enough of you guys that want to see that. I will do that video, so make sure you comment, because if I don't have a lot of comments, then I'm not going to do it. But if you guys want to see it, then I will put it together. All right, I really hope this video helps you guys get out of debt. If you're brand new to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe, because that way you won't miss any more getting out of debt videos or money saving videos. And if you guys like this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up or like, because when I see those likes coming in, I know that you guys like these types of videos, and I will do more of them. If I don't get a lot of likes, then I know you guys didn't really like the video, and I kind of don't tend to do as many of those videos. So make your voice heard, tell me what you guys think, give me a like and subscribe. Now head over and go and watch that budgeting technique for the checking and the savings account video I was talking about right now, so you know how to do step number 7, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.